Hi, I'm Dennis Gage, and welcome to My Classic Car. Well, this week we're in Mahwah, New Jersey for the Wild Hot Rod Weekend. This show's put on by the Dead Man's Curve Car Club. These guys are insane, so you might imagine the show is insane too. There's everything imaginable here and a lot of horsepower. Let's get around and check some of this stuff out. Danny, how you doing?
You still got that Italian
I still got, well, when I come here.
You've been, all right?
I've been fine, I've been fine. When I come here, I can't.
Well, here you are.
Wild Hot Rod Weekend. Yeah, this is my third time
Right.
here. But I think I was here for the very first one.
You were.
And you know it's a little bigger.
We'll put a little hot rod fertilizer on the show, right? No, it's gone really good.
Miracle Grow.
Yeah, we broke records. We started Thursday, you know, it's a 4-day event. But we started Thursday, we broke a record for cars. Friday, broke a record, and today's insane. We're close to 4,000 hot rods here today.
it's bonkers today. And
372.
Yeah, totally amazing. And there's some crazy stuff here. I mean, just totally.
Yeah, I saw you going crazy all around the circle.
So is this like the spiritual home of blower motors or something? What is the deal?
Welcome to Street Freak. You know, it's like everything. I mean, the word is out.
Yeah.
So these guys, they're coming from all over. If the one thing you do here is if you look at the license plates, there's so many out-of-state hot rods, but there's gassers and altereds, and it's amazing.
I've just never seen more blowers in any one place that I see at this show.
No, Thunder Alley, we're sitting in the home of blowers, but I mean, just outside this area.
Yeah, totally
it's
crazy.
like building an oversized Hot Wheel, you know?
So we fired these up earlier, and now you're doing a muffler wrap.
3 times
soon,
a day,
right?
yeah. I started a muffler wrap about 7 years ago. It's become a really big thing. We've got a great trophy. The guys in the car club, you know, I've been here 12 years with them. They've been around since 1978. But every guy in the club has a special talent.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you saw our ballroom. I mean, they're fabricators, they're builders.
You know, you just put on such a great show. It's unbelievable cars. So you got all these, you know, funny cars and stuff. What do you say we check a few of them out?
Let's go right now.
Well, Will, this is a real cream puff.
Yes, I did.
Cream puff.
Yep.
I love what you've done with it, I must say.
Yeah,
but
thank
60
you.
Caddy, what's the model? Is it a
It's a Coupe, Series 62.
Series 62? You've lowered it for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Is that
It's an air ride, yep.
And did you do that?
Oh yeah, it's all custom.
Wow.
All the 4-link in the rear, it's all custom. All C-notched, and pretty much the whole drivetrain has all been raised up so that it can lay frame. And yeah, that's the way I want it.
Yeah. And you got it that way. Where'd you find it?
Well, a friend of mine got it from Wisconsin, sight unseen. He got it, and it was a basket case. It was the roof was caved in, the windshield was smashed out. It was the drivetrain was a mess, and he sold it to me for real cheap, and I had to acquire 2 other parts cars to make it what you see here.
Well, it's surprising you say it comes from Wisconsin, but it looks pretty solid.
It's just beat up, really. It's just beat. So, I mean, I really like the way it looks on the outside, but it's underneath that I really had to do a lot of work to.
Yeah. So where do you get a windshield for a 60 Caddy?
There's companies out there. The windshield was made for multiple cars that year. So
I thought so, because I mean,
pretty,
you see that, you know, that in a lot of different cars.
Buicks, Cadillacs, Chevys, they all use the same windshield, so it's pretty easy to get.
Well, are they remaking them?
Oh yeah, it's
okay.
aftermarket.
Because I mean, it looks brand new.
Oh yeah,
it is brand new.
Yeah.
And then you haven't chopped or anything, right?
No,
It's this low because it's dropped.
Yeah. It's the roof was all caved in, so I kicked that out, and I still got to do the headliner, but I've been working on the dash. This car didn't come with air conditioning, but I took a dashboard out of an air-conditioned car and put it in there and got all the ductwork and everything good.
Was the interior from something else?
So yeah, this is one of the other
cars.
The seat has kind of given up on me the last couple seasons, so it's time for a new interior, at least the seats.
Wow. You
Yeah.
know, but it looks like all the trim was with it, or again,
Yeah.
with two parts cars. You can
I've been collecting all the good parts. I have multiple pieces, so anything that is dents, I think I have ones that are nice. For eventually, I want to do it nice.
Yeah. Well, then of course, pulling what's that? A Shasta?
It's a 60 Shasta. Yep.
So 60 Caddy, pulling a 60
Exactly.
Shasta. Oh man.
Yeah.
So do you and your wife do you use this thing?
Oh yeah, we spent the night in it last night.
Were you parked right here?
Yeah, we parked right here. We came up. We rolled up at 8 o'clock at night, and you know, usually at that time you can get a pretty decent spot. So then we just hunkered down and. We got everything in
well,
here.
I gotta believe it's been a hit because you guys, you're chilling out here with you got your lawn chairs.
Yeah, we got
your
lights and everything. It's nice.
People dig it.
Oh yeah, people love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love to hear the stories. Like,
oh, we have this.
Yeah, when we were little, we had 4 of us in that camper, and we went. It was so hot in there, but yeah, no, the stories are great. People love the camper.
Yeah. Totally. Well, I love the whole thing. And 60 Caddy, you've done a lot of work, but you've also kind of done a bit of change under the hood.
Just a little bit.
Just a little. Let's go look at that.
Bit.
Yeah, when I saw that, I went, here's this patinaed car and everything, and then I got up here and I went, whoa.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
Yep.
So
yeah.
What's this out of?
It's a 2002 Cadillac Escalade, 6-liter LS, turbocharged.
Turbocharged.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
How tough? Because those are pretty big engines, like size-wise.
Yeah,
aren't they?
they're it's a nice compact size. The LS
really?
motors are really great. They're the size of them. It fit right in there.
Wow.
Really nice.
Because this would have been what, a 365 or what
it
did
was
this have?
390. I think
okay.
390
Something,
somewhere around. The original motor was in really bad shape when I got it. So, and I just happen to have this in the corner of my shop, and I'm like, this has got to happen.
Perfect, yeah.
This
well, and everybody has those things laying around,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sure. Exactly.
Yep.
And then did you turbo it?
Yep. I figured, you know what, if I'm going to do this, I might as well do it right.
Wow.
And custom made the headers, the Y pipe. It's a Garrett 68 millimeter ball bearing turbo, and custom made all the aluminum intake tubes. I custom made the intercooler, made the tanks. I bought the Vibrant core, made the tanks.
You're kidding.
Modified the radiator to accept the condenser for the AC.
You got some skills.
I've been working on this quite a bit.
Man, and does it run like?
Oh, it runs great.
You have all the electronics and everything.
Yep.
I mean, it's like.
Yeah, I just converted it to a Holley Terminator harness from the factory ECU that I had originally. I just did that this past winter. It's night and day. I love it.
No kidding.
It's great. And the AC, I took the LS, the newer compressor, and then I took the original Cadillac evaporator and modified that so that I can use all the original Cadillac air conditioning,
the ducting and everything,
and just use the modern compressor.
Oh my
So
goodness!
all that is original.
The rest of the car really doesn't lead you to believe this would be under there.
It's a sleeper.
Yeah, I'll say. And you guys you tour around in it? Or?
Oh yeah, we go all the way up to Maine with it. We were at Syracuse this year, and
it's got to be a hit everywhere it goes.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah.
Totally.
Vermont, Massachusetts, Milltown, Rat's Nest Run In. Hell yeah.
You're on the road all the time.
Oh yeah, every weekend.
You've been to Wild Hot Rod Weekend before?
Oh yes, I've been here every year.
Yeah, this is a fun show.
Yeah, this is great. I love this show.
There's a lot of crazy stuff here.
Yeah.
Well, and not much crazier than this. Well, thanks for bringing this baby out.
Yeah,
that is
thank
way
you.
cool. Andy, I heard this coming before I saw it. It makes a bit of a racket. You weren't driving it though.
My son was driving it because he's better at it.
Well, this looks like could be a handful, but I'm telling you, even from a distance, this is just a stunning build.
Thank you so much, and that was the main objective here, to be over the top. I think we got it.
I think you got it. And this one you built for you, right?
That's right. I've been building top shelf hot rods for other people most of my life. I finally had something to do for my own, and this is about 20 years worth of head scratching and building.
Well, you figured it all out with everybody else's cars.
Yeah.
And then you got it squared away to do your own.
Yeah, yeah.
So what did you start with?
This is a 32 Ford chassis original, a 27 Ford T body sedan, 56 Oldsmobile engine, 37 LaSalle transmission, a 301 magnesium Halibran quick change rear end, Wee and Dragstar 6.2s, flamethrower ignition, all very hard stuff to come across. Most of the stuff on this car is ancient goodies, no off-the-shelf parts really, except shock absorbers, which I can't really make myself.
No. But have you been like collecting and hoarding the pieces your whole life almost?
Yeah, kind of. Things like the water tank had to be built because there's no provisions when you have an intake system like this. The fuel logs I had to build. So many different aspects of this car.
It's an interesting suspension too. I mean,
Suicide front end.
And then
the spring is mounted on the radius rods.
wow.
This is actually a Model A radius rod piece that I bent and bolted on. That's why it's got some glamour to it.
Yeah. Gorgeous.
Original Ford heavy axle, 32 Ford part, not a reproduction. Like I said, most of the stuff is vintage pieces, including the Hildebrandt oil filter, remote from the other side.
Oh, that's awesome.
The wheel and valve covers, all so hard to find.
You have no front brakes.
No front brakes, they just slow you down. As a matter of fact,
you don't want to slow down either, do you?
they're metallic brake shoes in the back with brand new Lincoln drums. Slows down very well. And with drag slicks, when you let your foot off the gas, the car stops.
It brakes. It brakes by itself.
Original American magnesium fronts, original Halibran magnesium rears.
This stuff is like, these are treasures. I mean, some of these pieces are like
They're
treasures.
gold.
Yeah.
They're gold.
Holy cow.
I wanted the pipes very long, so we had to invent a way for the door to work on a bell crank.
So the pipes go through the door when you
Pipes
open it.
go through the door. You can barely crawl in here.
Yeah, I can believe that.
Literally crawl.
Did you do all the wood too?
The wood I did with the help of one other guy. He cut the pattern, but I finished it all. The visor is original Model T.
I love the broadcloth on it.
And there's no metal frame. It's just stitched like a bird cage around a perimeter.
Are you kidding? And that's just, wow. Tweety bird shifter.
Tweety bird, of course, from my daughter, insisted on that. All original Stuart Warner gauges from the 60s. A teak dashboard. I kicked the frame up 19 inches. Model A cross member with some NASCAR adjusters. It's always hard to get a buggy sting just right.
Yeah.
So I made adjusters for the tension. Original Model T fuel tank. Like I said, the car is loaded with original stuff.
It was amazing. When you said it was original frame, I thought that can't be. But you've just done so much work to it.
It had to be narrowed at the front, widened at the back, and the midsection, and narrowed again to fit the contour of the body. As you can see, it bolts to the 32 frame just about perfectly.
Unbelievable. How long did it take you to build this baby?
This is 20 years worth of head scratching and work.
Literally 20 years.
Really, in between other customers' jobs, etc.
Wow, how long have you had it in this state?
Last year we took it out for the first time in November for the Greenwich Concours, won that hot rod class.
You know, I'm not surprised.
No. I would have been disappointed if we didn't
People just flock to this thing.
It's the color also, and being Italian, I had to go with the Lamborghini green.
How could you pass it up?
And it took a while to pick a color for it. There's so many out there, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So this really is Lambo's green, huh?
It's Verde Ithaca.
Wow.
Leather interior.
What are the seat frames?
The seats buckets are original Model T that I had to narrow down to clear the torque tube and the chassis. And the work was endless, you know?
I can see that. I mean, everything about it is just perfect.
Great. I'm glad you appreciate it.
Oh.
Take a look under the back if you can get down there.
Is that a Winters?
Yeah, but I mean under.
Oh my gosh. Like there's a
plexiglass pan that drops down.
You did everything on this.
Everything.
That would be 20 years of head scratching.
My son helped me tremendously all along the build. He was pushing me every inch of the way.
Well, you guys make a good team. Absolutely unbelievable. Randy, thanks, man.
Thanks so much, Dennis.
Unbelievable.
Thank you so much.
Well, Louis, I dig this car. You know, I was cruising by and I go, oh, okay, you know, 67 Wagon, kind of country Squire. And I went, huh. And I stopped and I kind of started looking at it. And it's like the more I looked at it, the more I saw it.
It's a sleeper.
It is a sleeper.
With a lot of Easter eggs.
they're everywhere.
Everywhere.
Did you build this?
I did some of the work, but a local shop, GCD Auto, did most of the work for this. I don't have this type of a capacity. I'm a good grinder when I weld, but the design and the look was mine.
So was this buffed down or was this put on? These rub throughs.
This is an Arizona car, so it's natural patina. We just cleared it. Just knocked
really?
off
So,
some of the ugly.
So you basically buffed down to the primer?
Buffed down to the primer in some areas. This was an accident of mine here. I left it hood open and it slammed while I was test driving it. So that was a repair, but it blended in well. But otherwise, it's a natural patina car, just cleared.
Wow.
No rust.
And I like the fog lights, kind of a period accessory.
Yeah, I wanted to keep the retro look, like the '60s gaudy vibe as well.
Yeah,
with the gold and stuff.
Yeah, and you got that going on with the wheels, kind of.
Yes. So the gaudy's good.
Gaudy's good.
In this look, yes.
And the gold Vogue stripe on the wheel. And what are the wheels?
The wheels themselves are BG old school wheels by Vox. And then I dolled them up with the spinners, and then I had a gentleman make the center caps with the Country Squire head on.
Oh yeah, I had noticed that at first. That's really good. Pretty serious brakes too, all around.
Willwood 6-piston, 13-inch rotor. So it has a hoot. It moves.
Yeah.
It's about 660 at the wheels.
Oh.
A supercharged motor, so it moves.
So it does move. So you want brakes?
Yeah, I can get grocery pretty quick.
So I was cruising around and I get closer to it and I see this interior and I'm like, man, this really works. It's like a period looking fabric, but what is it?
It's a fabric that the upholsterer, the same place I mentioned before, had, and I used it because it's period correct and it looks like horse bits, which kind of goes with the horse motif of the Country Squire.
What are the seats?
Seats are out of 2015 Camaro. They were reshaped to look old, so I got power seats, heated seats.
Seriously?
And then we continue with the Ford language up front, so that's a '67 Mustang gauge cluster.
Which really works there, because this was a rectangular
It was
setup.
a rectangular with no information, so I used Dakota digital gauges in there. So I have modern accoutrements with information, but it's the period.
Yeah, the dash looks great too.
The shop I mentioned, they built a fiberglass mold, metal and fiberglass, to blend that in. So we started with an original '67 gauge cluster.
Yeah.
And then it was blended in to look factory. And then some pieces down there were CNC'd to continue for the headlights and stuff control.
And the console?
Console was custom made. This was the bench seat car. So it was a custom made console with the air conditioning control up front. Kind of continues with that round theme.
Yeah, I mean,
the shifter.
There's a ton of work in this car.
It's a lot of work. There's a lot of work. This is actually a full build, but to look like a sleeper. So it's an innocent looking car.
So are these the original door handles too? Are they the flip up?
Yeah, that's the original hardware is on the doors.
Because that's what they do, right? They flip out and then
they flip up and then up. Yeah.
Yeah, like that. Boom.
Yes, and then we used that, and then we used Jag XJS mirrors because they kind of fit that design language.
I would not have guessed that. XJS, huh?
XJS, yeah. So it kind of fits that Ford language of that period.
Oh man, it's really amazing, and again, it's just such a sleeper.
Thank you. Yeah, that it is, and it has the I have the vibe going with the Tiki,
of course,
and it has the magic tailgate.
Does it work?
Yes, it does.
This is so amazing.
So it opens up this way.
Yeah, which is cool. That's cool.
And then it opens up this way.
I mean, that has got to be one of the most over-engineered tailgates.
I'm still amazed by it.
I am too. I'm still amazed by it. And it works. It works.
And it makes loading easy. And down here I have that secret compartment because it doesn't have the seat. So that's where I keep all my show stuff. Yeah. So it works out.
Oh, that's just. And what is it on pistons there?
It's on shocks. Those hood shocks.
Right.
It's a wooden platform, so it works well with the look. All I need is the surfboard. So
it's badge 390, but you're pumping 600 some horsepower. You have something else under there. Let's look.
Yeah, we can look at that.
Yeah, that's not a 390.
No, it's an LS2, supercharged LS2.
Really?
We had a dyno 2, and obviously because it's fuel injected, and it was around 640, 660 at the wheels.
Golly. And so putting a Chev engine in this Ford, how was the fit?
It fit perfect. That's why we went
kidding.
with this engine. Yeah, it came out of a 2005 GTO, so I got the transmission and everything with it.
Yeah.
Everything was built to handle the power, but it was an easy fit. That's why I did the LS, and there's a great aftermarket support for this type of swap.
And what's this little baby here?
This is a TorqueStorm supercharger.
Jeez, kind of subtle there, isn't it?
Yeah, add a little more sugar to the coffee.
It's sweet.
It's
Let
sweet.
me tell you, it's sweet.
It's sweet.
Wow. Close her back up, Louis. This is truly a sleeper because I almost went by it and then I just got drawn into it.
It caught you in, right?
Totally. And I'm so glad it did because it is truly sweet.
Thank you very much.
Great work,
appreciate
Louis.
it.
Great
Thank
cool.
you.
I think it's great.
This is what I'm going to look like eventually anyway. Jim, you always have the weirdest stuff. I mean, the weirdest stuff.
Well, thank you, Dennis. I appreciate that.
I take that as a compliment.
Yes.
But and this fits into that category. This is hilarious. I mean, it looks like a 60, 59, 60 Caddy. What is this?
60 Caddy, 4-door hardtop.
It's a little different now.
Yeah, we had a saw and a MIG welder, and this is what you get.
That's what you get, huh?
Yeah.
So what all did you do?
We basically took the back half. So the doors and the quarter panel are where they belong.
Okay.
We left a piece of the hood.
Does it? Oh,
you can go under there.
That's
There's not
great.
much to see,
What
but
do you
it's
got under
working.
the hood? Not much.
We cut the bumpers in half, put two halves together.
Yeah.
Made directionals and lights in there.
So you narrowed the whole thing up.
It's
but
basically two fenders touching each other.
Okay.
Wherever they touch, that's where I stopped.
Well, so it's the engine. What do we got there?
Motor and trans are stock. Just change the intake and change the exhaust on it.
So in 60, that was a what?
331.
Okay.
I think it was a 331. Steve's carburetor did all the carburation for us.
Yeah. I mean, you drive this thing around, eh?
We do a lot of drive. This is very easy to drive.
Love the windshield. Where'd
that's
you get
homemade. I built that out of necessity. Could not find anything anywhere. So
what's it made out of?
Just some channel.
No kidding.
Man, and we basically bought the dashboard back to us.
Yeah.
This is actually your front door closed and locked. And then your rear door is where it belongs. Steering column moved over, glove compartment moved over.
Well, and that's a stock latch and everything.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yes, it is.
But is that still part of a 60
It's the original
dash?
dash, yeah. And we just basically curved it on this side to match that curve. And then took the glove compartment, which was out here somewhere, and put it here, and that's going to be all your wiring.
Oh, okay.
And the column moved over.
Yeah, and you do drive. You got your crap
Oh yeah.
in there.
Oh,
You
this
got your
goes.
shades in there.
Yeah,
You got-
this is I'm going to say street legal.
Wow. And you're running cheater slicks.
Yep.
But basically 60 fenders, right?
Yeah, the whole quarter panels and doors, all stock, 29 inches out of it this way. We cut the trunk up a little bit.
A little.
Probably just some garbage in there for now. Just stuff to keep, little tiny trunk.
Yep. Put the battery back here.
Yep.
Totally insane. But this is not the only insane thing you do. You do all sorts of insane
Well, we
things.
had parts left over.
You had parts left over.
So I had at least the rear end, which went over there.
Oh, really? That's what went into the Pontiac over
Yes.
there? Well, let's go look at that.
All right, let's take a peek.
So this is a Pontiac, but there's pieces of the Caddy, right?
Yeah, this is a 63 Bonneville 4-door hardtop. Or again, once it started out as that. The rear from the Cadillac is in the trunk of this car.
Okay.
Whereas that car, you sit in the back seat, you're sitting in the trunk here. It's about 3 foot in the front, maybe full size in the back, as far as width.
What's the frame?
Chassis I built. It's
Okay.
2x4 channel, 3/16. Got a Speedway front end in it, 350 motor. The dash, I believe,
This is a Mopar thing.
this is part of a Chrysler. I thought it was
Yeah.
a Lancer, and it came on that dash. I just separated it and put it out here, and it still works. Gauges and that little red tube that fills
Oh, I
up.
love that. I love that. Yeah,
Right.
man.
So this is your rear quarter panel where it belongs, and your back door is here.
Right there.
Front door, got rid of that.
But you're sitting in the trunk.
You're in the trunk. This
And
is
what's this?
Barracuda, early Barracuda rear window,
Okay.
which is now made in Lexan, and that's a piece of a Corvette.
It does look like a Corvette.
Air, heat, stereo.
Of course.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have it. It's hilarious. And what, 63 taillights? Is
63 taillights, put a tank out here, pinch the bumper just a hair to get the slant going.
I have to ask, why? Why do you do this?
You know why? Because this one didn't have a roof.
Oh,
And we said, we need a roof.
Oh, well, that explains it
so
then.
I guess that's about the best I can come up with.
Well, this is all totally crazy, and I respect that, Jim.
Hey, I
do.
really thank you. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Hey, Andy, good to see you, man.
How you doing, Dennis?
I'm doing great. You know, this is all your fault.
Of course.
Because I met you like 18 plus years ago, and you had this that crazy. It's a Pioneer, isn't it?
Dodge Pioneer Wagon.
Street freak, insane thing. I was like, what is that? You know, and they go, well, you know, I built this, but you know, I got a bunch of buddies. We all do this, and that led to your bubble top. We did that. Then we did a special on your car and the bubble top.
Yeah.
Fury. This is your latest crazy machine that you built, this Street Freak Vette, with a blower that I have never seen in my life.
What it is it's there's 4 rotors in one cast aluminum case
Well, it's ultra rare. How many did they make?
They made somewhere between 60 and 70 of them, I'm told. Most of them I hear went on Panteras, and I've done a little bit of research, and I see a lot of them on Panteras.
So do they stick out of a Pantera too, or?
No, they had side draft carburetors or fuel injection. They were made by Magnacharger, which was Jerry Magnuson.
And then, of course, it would have to have the Model A. It would have to be sitting, 3 feet off the ground to be yours.
Yep. Yeah, with the Model A axle, and if you're up that high, there's no reason not to put zoomies on it.
Well, of course. I mean, why wouldn't you?
You could fit a TV between the tire and the fender. Big screen. And then the big thing with the blower was getting the pulleys to line up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, there's not too many blowers, I don't think, that have 2 belts.
Right.
You have the drive belt.
Right.
And then that drives that shaft, which drives this belt, which drives the second set of rotors. So there's 4 rotors in one single cast aluminum housing. And believe it or not, that entire thing bolts up to a single 4-barrel intake manifold.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's not power. That wouldn't, if I was racing, that isn't the blower I'd put on, but it's just so cool. That's why I bought it.
Oh, it's definitely so cool. Yeah. Wow. No, I dig it, and I dig all your stuff.
As one of the members would say, there's a lot of bracketry there.
Not many people would do that, but you would.
They say I need to have my head examined.
Yeah, exactly. I've always said that, actually. Well, Brian, this is like one healthy 73 Mach 1. This thing is, well, first of all, it's hard to miss because it's pretty yellow.
I call it Yellenor.
Oh, I like that. That's good. But when I saw it, it's clearly modified, and I swore there was like a ton of body work done, particularly the front fender. This thing looks extended. It looks maybe even a touch sectioned. But you say that's a stock fender?
They call it long nose 71 to 73. It's the long nose Mach 1.
It's longer than I thought it was, and maybe it's just because the front end's dropped. But it really looks wild.
Yeah.
Now, so that isn't one of the body mods, but this thing's had a lot of work.
A ton of work.
What all did they do? And where was this thing built?
This was built at a street rod shop in Pennsylvania in 1997, 98, 99.
Uh-huh.
Gentleman that first bought it couldn't finish it, so we sold it, and it was finished at the street rod shop and ended up in Ontario, Canada.
Oh, wow.
And then it went to Wyoming, and now I got my hands on it 2 years ago.
Well, it's a well-traveled car. Huh?
Yes,
Wow.
72 miles on it when I got it.
With all that transport, only 72 miles.
72 miles.
Wow. So how long have you had it?
2 years.
2 years. And was she in this shape when you bought it?
Just about. The car was all yellow, so it was too much yellow.
Yeah.
So we broke it up with some black on the hood and on the scoop. The decals were on the side. It just needed a little something, and I think this was the touch that finished it all.
Well, I totally agree. I think that would be way too much yellow. It would look like a huge banana. And this really, I mean, this sets it off. And again, I swear, I know these are long cars. I don't know what it is about this, but it looks even longer.
Yeah, it barely fits in my garage.
So it is really a long car.
It's a long car, yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And this was the last of the big Mustangs.
Yeah, this is the last high horsepower year that they made.
Yeah.
I think it came with the 429, certain models did.
Wow. So then, they completely did the interior when they did it. So everything is different here, right?
Yeah, they cut the dash out. That's a fiberglass dash they custom made.
Uh-huh.
It's got a tilt steering wheel, billet steering wheel, her shifter. It's got an emergency brake. It's channeled onto the tube chassis.
So the original chassis is just
the
gone.
original chassis is gone. It's a Chris Alston 2x3 tube chassis with a Ford 9-inch, 355 gears. It's a great driver.
And serious roll cage in it.
Yeah, I'm going to race it. I haven't had the chance yet, but I'm going to.
Really?
See
I mean, it's so
do.
nice. I don't know if I could do that. It's just, I mean, and everything about it is so clean. And I noticed the back window is like, I don't know, I mean, it looks different too. It's just really flush.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what they did with the original moldings, but it's definitely not stock.
Definitely not.
And I was been a Chevy guy my whole life, and I saw this car, and I actually fell in love with it.
I gotta have this. Right?
Gotta have it. Yes.
Well, even this panel is still stock. I mean, it's such an interesting mix of stock and not.
Yes. Yeah. They even kept the original gas cap with the lock, but we fill from the side.
Fill over here, eh?
Yes.
I mean, this, and it's, I mean, I saw the graphics, 557.
Yeah, that's the cubic inch. It was a 460 block that they stroked out to 557.
And it looks pretty mean, even coming through the hood. Let's go have a look at it.
Sure.
Oh, this is a cool touch. The hold down pins, which would have been up there.
Yeah, the hood used to flip up.
Right.
Now it flips.
They're back here. Oh.
This way.
And I love that they left them. I mean, and they're functional.
This is the factory hold down, just welded back here.
Not that it's going to flip up this way, but you got the hold downs anyway.
Yes.
And holy cow. this looks great. So it's a 460, but that's not out anything. That looks like a...
It's an SVO manifold, SVO heads. I'm not sure on the block, but it was a 460. It's a 557 kit. It made 600 horsepower, almost 700 foot-pounds, so it gets up and goes.
Is this a custom setup? Or
yeah, that's a custom snorkel that the gentleman made at the street rod shop. Yeah, it's got to be weeks worth of work just in that and the hood.
It has to be.
And the hood is all steel.
That's the other thing, because when I saw this, even the fender said, "So is that fiberglass now?" This thing's all steel.
All steel.
It is just, and boy, does she sit far back.
Yeah, I think they set it back about 15%.
Wow, so they had to, probably cut and redo the firewall.
Yeah, they cut the original firewall off. This is fiberglass here. And they molded it in. It's boxed out for the C6 trans.
That's probably the only fiberglass in here.
That's it,
right?
yeah.
Boy, that's a great looking frame too, jeez.
Yeah, that's the Chris Alston tube chassis with coilovers and chrome spindles.
I mean, this baby is serious. Do people dig this? I mean, when you're at a show, or they?
It gets ton of looks.
Ton of looks.
Yeah. Yeah, because of the craftsmanship and all the work that's in it.
Well, it really is magnificent craftsmanship. It's so unique, that cutout, that fit. Man, I tell you, this is a serious 73. Brian, I love this car.
Thank you very much.
1973 Mach 1 557.
557, yes.
Yowza.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Hey, it's called the Wild Hot Rod Weekend for a reason. This is a big time. Wagon, New Jersey, Dead Man's Curve Car Club. Check it out.